Couples of Reddit, what is something small that you and your soda that you absolutely love? Been with my wife for 17 years, dating and married combined, and we make time to shower together every day. It's our time away from the kids where we get to talk about our day. I wash her body sometimes. She gets me sometimes. It's our way of staying connected. We get weird looks from other couples we know that find out we do this for some reason. My wife wakes up early for work and usually wakes me up by some form of butt shaking by my sleeping head after she gets out of the shower. There's no noise or contact, but I always sense the booty and wake up to give it a slap. Sense the booty. Yeah. I sense the booty be close. I feel a tingling in me gizzards. Sit in the same room in silence. My absolute favorite thing. You know when you make a kissy face and you can make that little smooch noise? At night my husband and I use that as a kind of sonar to find each other's lips to kiss goodnight. Oh god. I'm so alone. We have what we call adventure days. Every once in a blue moon, maybe twice a year, we wake up and decide work just ain't gonna cut it. Call in. And make a concerted effort to have a day full of things we've never tried before. It's never planned. Usually cheap. And we've made some of our best memories on those days. We have this small rubber chicken that we hide in random parts of the house. Such as the cookie drawer, microwave, vanity mirror, freezer, etc. A huge smile comes across my face every time I find him. I wonder where that FK is now. We pretend I'm wearing him like he's a super soldier mech suit and I'm the soldier. I stand on his feet and hold his hands and we stomp around the apartment pretending to destroy things. I think you live over me. I wondered what the F you people were doing up there. I love being his big spoon. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I would whisper little spoon, and he would immediately curl up in a ball. Jetpack. After we wash the bedding, my boyfriend will put the fitted sheet on the mattress, have me lay down, and then throw all of the other blankets on top of me in a big pile while they're still warm. It's the best feeling. Whenever my fiance registered sign and I are out in public, we scrunch our noses and close our eyes at the same time. Like for a split second. As a way of saying I love you and or I'm having a great time. This usually occurs when we're stuffing our faces with food, walking around surrounded by a bunch of people in a busy place, or in a quiet place such as a museum or library. This is our subtle little way of showing affection in public. She sucks in air and I pretend to be caught and dragged into her lips for a thwomp impact kiss. Then she giggles like an idiot every time. We celebrate Christmas not by putting up a tree, but by setting up the traditional Christmas flamingo. A 6-foot tall light up lawn ornament that lives in our living room and watches over our gifts. His name is Frankie. Whenever I try to kiss my girlfriend, as soon as my lips are about to touch hers, she'll stick her tongue out and start laughing. Every night, he says sweet dreams, and I reply, see you there. Every night, after a quick spoon session, it's time to go to sleep. The big spoon rolls over and we both quietly chant, butt to butt. My girlfriend and I will occasionally just start doing that Minecraft villager honk thing they do. We'll go back and forth like that for a while, then burst out laughing. Be weird with each other. We'll make weird noises together or meow at each other or sing nonsense stuff. We have weird conversations. We flop on each other. We have tickle fights. We purposefully mispronounce words. We jokingly turn almost everything into really bad innuendo. We're just stupidly comfortable with each other. I can be dumb and silly and weird without having to worry about him judging me or being annoyed at me. He thinks it's endearing and loves my weirdness. And I love his. We talk in mock arguments all the time. What do you want for lunch? What is it with you and lunch? We had lunch yesterday. How much lunch does one woman need? Asterisk. Chinese? Sure. Asterisk. We get weird looks in stores. We work different shifts. So he is heading home for sleeping when I am driving to work. He always calls me when he clocks out and we talk until I get to my job. This time is so important to us. Sets me up for a great day and relaxes him so he can go to sleep when he gets home. It is only a few minutes. But if he works late and we don't get to talk, my whole day is thrown off and he doesn't sleep as well. We have our own parties. If there is game we both get different things like wings and chips. Yes, it's just us enjoying the game but we call them parties and it's fun. We have a game called Baby Monkey where I sort of hang my arms around his neck and wrap my legs around his back like a baby monkey would hang from its mother's chest. And then he swings through the apartment slow motion touching doorways and the tops of tall pieces of furniture. It always ends in a fit of giggles. We do this thing called littlest kiss in the world. We try our hardest to kiss but so we can just barely feel it. We'll probably try it a few times in a row and one of them ends up as OMG that was really little. So weird. Love that woman. Each of our cats has her own theme song. My boyfriend is currently playing X Gon Give It To Ya in bed at 10:30 PM. Because the cat needed to hear it. Obviously. I have an affinity for sharks. So my house has a lot of shark items dispersed throughout. One particular shark item is a tiny, dime-sized glass shark that sits on the fireplace. Sometimes at night when I feed the dog, whose bowl is by the fireplace, I pick up tiny shark and discreetly and silently hold it up next to my so while they are distracted on the computer. Every single time they turn to get a closer look at what I'm presenting them. And every single time they sigh in frustration that I got them to inspect tiny shark for the billionth time. It delights me to no end. We used to have fake arguments around SF where I'd yell if you loved me, you'd do it. Then he'd yell back I'm not gonna take a shitty on you. Another was him suddenly running away from me yelling I'm not gonna pay you. And I following suit with $5 for blowjob. You pay. He's white. I'm Asian. These jokes stopped once we moved to Minneapolis. Now we just play trashy characters named Crystal and Rusty in the privacy of our apartment to de-stress. Our neighbor must think we're insane. Edit. Someone gave me my first gold. Yay. Thank you and may you and your so make weird voices with each other too. Lift our shirts up a little bit so that we are touching tummies when we hug. We call it being a star belly. We've been waking up an extra 45 minutes an hour earlier in the morning to drink coffee and take the dog for a walk. It's awesome having a little extra time together since we both work ridiculous hours. Plus the doggy likes it too. Win win win. We're long distance, been for 3 years. Different universities. And so we play Battleship over Skype a lot. We like to keep it really chilly in the apartment at night and my boyfriend kicks off the covers in his sleep. I'll wake up feeling a little cold and he won't have a blanket on him. And I'll nudge him a little and ask if he's cold. 2. If he says yes I tuck him in and he'll hold me like a teddy bear. His skin feels a little icy at first but within a minute it's like being in a warm, cuddly blanket nest. This started because my husband and I were long distance for 6 years. High school sweethearts. Went to different universities in different states and a year difference in grade, so we would text each other questions every night to see if the other had any questions as a way to continue to get to know each other. They could be about our thoughts on whatever. Asking favorite foods. Absolutely anything. We closed the distance about 2 years ago. And married for 1 and more often than not we still ask each other if the other has questions before going to sleep. This is my favorite thread ever. Really because it's kind of making me hate my life. I unlock the passenger door for my girlfriend first. No power locks. That is somewhat normal. The big deal for me is that she unlocks my door before I get around to my side. It is such a tiny thing. But it means a lot. Edit. Apparently this is in a movie. A movie I have never seen. Any good? My boyfriend and I act out random scenarios all the time. Like, out of nowhere one of us will start talking a certain way or doing a certain thing and the other person will join in without batting an eye, and then 10 minutes goes by and we're wondering why we're pretending to be an old southern couple trying cheesecake for the first time. Edit. Thank you so much to the stranger who gave me Reddit gold. I've never gotten it before, so this is such a great moment. We're long distance for the next year, so when we're at each other's house we hide notes and Happy Meal toys for each other. He just told me last night he found a minion in a sock yesterday morning. There is a little people black lamb figure hidden somewhere in his house that he hasn't found, and I can't remember where I hid it. Hold hands with our fingers intertwined while driving. It's such a little thing, but it's the thing I would miss most if we cut it out. We love taking naps. My GF and I both start our days super early, so by the time we come home in the afternoon we'll do something together. Whether that's TV, read, or play a game. We play Scrabble on our iPad. We always end up falling asleep. It is always the best sleep I get. Because I just feel so at peace and comfortable with her beside me. I've nicknamed my boyfriend Sleepiest Boy because since he works from home, he takes naps off and on throughout the day. We walk together. After work. There are some very nice trails near our house. And it's a great way to exercise. Get some fresh air and unwind together. Note: today is a gorgeous day in northern Illinois. And I'm dying to get home and hit the trail with MRS. 1LW. When we're in a social situation where it would be odd to kiss, or we're across the room from each other or something, we scrunch our noses at each other. Not blowing a kiss. Not winking. We make a strange half-second expression instead. Don't know why. But I love that we do it. I give her a quick kiss on the nose at the same time she kisses my chin. Then we switch. We touch each other a lot. Both of us. As children. Physically neglected. Her first husband of almost 25 years would only touch her as a precursor to sex. We were both starved of physical affection. We take every opportunity to touch each other. A touch. A stroke. Whatever. It's small. But it means so much to us. We often sit in our living room with a blanket over our heads and call it getting in the cave. Taking a Sunday drive in the country. Good music. Holding hands but in our own mental worlds. Connecting but not burdening each other with life issues. Beautiful scenery. Fresh air and a private and spoken connection. We high five a lot, and my BF asked me one time what if I was really bad at high fives? Full stop. Now when I put my hand up he comes up with various ways to miss my hand or does something completely different instead of actually high fiving me. Then he pretends to not understand how he did anything wrong. We name our future dogs. Like we aren't one of those couples that plan our future wedding. But we argue and compromise the logistics of how many dogs we will have. What type. And especially what characters we will name them after. We love to play video games together. We're pretty much an equal match to whatever game we are playing. So it's always nice to have a good teammate. Though he is better at Gears than me at the moment. Right, you are Spartacus? Yes, mom. Gonna get buried here. But my wife and I still slow dance alone in our room sometimes. Different music every time. This made me cry. My dad died unexpectedly a few months ago. And some of my favorite memories are of him and my mom dancing. They danced in the living room. They loved each other so much. Thank you for reminding me of that. We have plant babies. They have names. When the pink cosmos we planted were finally growing above the soil before his flowers were, I kept referring to Claudio as my gifted child. He would defend his because his son was just a late bloomer. If my flowers get droopy or messed up at all, then I say his daughter is acting up. He is out of town right now and so I know my babies aren't getting watered. He said his roommate would do it while he was gone, but I don't believe him. It was his turn to watch them and he just left them there not being able to fend for themselves. Avoiding taking care of his children so he can goof around with his friends. What a f***ing deadbeat father. We'll ask what the other wants for dinner from wherever we finally decide to get food from. And then repeat back the order as purposefully wrong as possible. I'll have the chicken sandwich. Fries. And DR. Pepper. Okay, so you want a dirt bucket. Extra farts and water. Got it. And it's just not dinner without it. I crash into the door after coming home from work, then scream to the top of my lungs, "IT's bumping butts time." Then we bump butts. Butts. God, I'm so lonely. My soul and I can lie to each other all we want, mostly hiding if we let out a stinky fart. But as soon as one of us pulls out the pinky promise, we have to fess up. When we pinky promise, we both kiss our thumbs and lock them together. He also enjoys making fart noise when we are in public and blaming it on me. And then to get me to realize that it's funny, he gets me to look at him, and if I can without laughing, he knows I'm truly upset. Him. Makes loud fart noise in shopping mall. Me. Real eye. Me. Tries to walk away pretending I don't know him. Him. Follows after me, look at me. Look at me? Me. Tries not to look at him. Me. Looks with a smile. Him. Asked my BF this. He says you're Vagina. Edit. He says he's not a f-boy and his real answer is when you meow at me and I bark back, and we have full conversations like that and you pretend to get mad and patiently meow slower so I can understand. I like that we go to big grocery stores to do our shopping late at night when it's mostly empty. I stand on a grocery cart, so I'm like slightly leaning over the cart while my feet are on the bottom rung and my hands hold on the handlebars. And he holds my back and pushes me to the different items on our grocery list as I read them out loud. And we pretend like we're steering a pirate ship. Ere there be gold. My husband and I both still sleep with our teddy bears. It sounds kind of pathetic when I type it out, but it makes me the happiest person ever when I realize how lucky I am that he doesn't judge me for needing my bear when I sleep. We play games with our bears a lot. For example, lying in bed and throwing them to the ceiling so they spin like crazy. Then we judge which bear won like it was an Olympic sport. We also made up a complex fictional sport that the bears play when we aren't around called Back. For his birthday this year I made a Back for Dummies pamphlet with all of the rules and techniques for the game. Binge watch TTY reality TV shows together. The summer we first started dating, I was serving at a restaurant that would close at 1 AM. I'd get off around 2 AM and go over to her place and we would watch the Rock of Love series. We finished Rock of Love, Rock of Love 2, and the season of Rock of Love with the bus. Now we play Bret Michaels on any jukebox we can find. And still revisit those shows every summer. My boyfriend goes to bed later than I do most nights because we work different hours. Some nights I ask him to come tuck me in, which is usually just him sitting next to me for a couple minutes rubbing my back while I doze off. My boyfriend loves puns. Can't stop doing them. All day. Every day. Most of the time they are funny because they are so god-awful bad. But every once in a while, he'll have a real winner that makes me laugh so hard to the point of tears. And every time this has happened and he gets a really good one, we are with a bunch of people and it goes right over their heads and no one else laughs but me. Personal favorite: this girl was showing off her new wolf shoulder tattoo and he said, "Oh, it's a wolf back." Okay, so maybe they're all bad. We'd go to IKEA to eat. We used to live only 10 minutes from our local IKEA, and when we first moved in together we regularly went after work to get inspired. Because we just came from work, we'd eat our evening meal there after our stroll of inspiration. It became like a romantic date for us, and now once in a while we'll just go there to walk and have a meal. Every night after the kids are in bed and we are hanging out, he rubs my feet for 20 minutes. Then I rub his back for 20 minutes. We initiate it by randomly mumbling legs for back. Full stop. It's a nice little ritual that we do for each other. We sneak up behind each other, creepily, and lightly palm a butt cheek. Say touch button scuttle away whoop whooping Zoidberg style. Is that romantic?